right now that you had to go and ask the Health Secretary whether or not he supported the Prime Minister?
I didn't go and ask the Health Secretary. You know, as Cabinet Ministers who are passing through a huge amount of legislation, we talk all the time. But it was last night when the comments, supposed comments that Sajid Javid was saying were on the media, and obviously they came up. And he is 100%. What you're reporting about Sajid Javid turning his back on the Prime Minister is not true. He is 100% behind the Prime Minister.
I didn't suggest he turned his back on him 100%. What I did suggest was that he had looked at the remarks that the Prime Minister made in relation to Sir Keir Starmer and Jimmy Savile and ultimately said, do you know what, I wouldn't have done that. Now, that is from a very senior man, a very senior figure, former Chancellor, now Health Secretary, dealing with the public health strategy as regards COVID. This isn't some random backbencher saying it.
So I'm not a random backbencher either, and my perspective on this is that when you lead an organisation, such as the Prime Minister leads the government, you have to take responsibility for actions and decisions taken by that organisation. Keir Starmer took responsibility by apologising in 2013 for what happened in the CPS during the Jimmy Savile investigation. Now, my perspective is that Keir Starmer apologised. He took responsibility for what happened in the same way any leader of any organisation takes responsibility.
So was he to blame then?
He took responsibility in the
What
same way the Prime Minister takes. If you lead an organisation, the buck stops with you. You are responsible for the actions of that organisation. Keir Starmer apologised quite clearly in 2013 for what happened in the CPS during the Jimmy Savile investigation when he was Director of Public Prosecutions. In the same way, the Prime Minister goes to the dispatch box and he takes responsibility for what happens in this government.
Yeah, so it was Sir Keir Starmer's fault then, just going by what you said there. It was Sir Keir Starmer's...
I was very clear with my words. Keir Starmer took responsibility for the investigation in the CPS into Jimmy Savile, and he apologised in 2013 for what had happened during that investigation.
What
Keir
happened
Starmer,
during
quite
the investigation?
rightly,
What was Sir Keir Starmer taking responsibility for? Keir
Starmer, quite rightly, took responsibility for what had happened during that investigation.
I mean, we should not gloss over the fact that, of course, there have been a number of resignations this week, some of which can technically be linked to Sue Gray's update and the Metropolitan Police investigation. The one that can't is the head of the policy unit, Munira Mirza, who left Number 10, suggesting that the Prime Minister would better have apologised straight away, to not just issue a clarification for those remarks, but apologise for them. She even described them as scurrilous.
I've worked with Munira. I like Munira very much. That was Munira's point of view. I have just articulated to you my point of view, which is different.